Friends, in the last tutorial we have made an announce bar, a nav bar and this slider. And for now on we have to make a category section just below this slider bar. Let's move to our Visual Studio Code. Here inside the components folder, make categories.jsx rfce, and inside a parent div I will make 3 other divs, and for now I will write 1, 2 and 3. Give styling for the parent div, make it display flex, justify between items center, and it's enough. Import this component in our home page. Now save it. As we can see, there are 3 divs, 1, 2 and 3. Let's give them some padding. Write P5, it will give them padding 5. And now they are looking good. For my different categories, inside the API folder, I am making another file named category api.js. And I am pasting here some content. Basically, this is a variable named API categories that I am exporting. It is an array of objects. Each object has a key value title and another key value source. Basically, source is going to be link for our images of categories. Now let's see in action how to import these in our categories. Here I will say import categories from API folder, category API, and instead of writing these divs, I will say categories dot map, and for each category let's return some components. As over each component will have 2 props named item, which will be its category, and other its key, which will be its index value. So I should also write here index. Okay, so now what's problem here? Okay, I should change it. We cannot use it as default export, so it should be under the curly braces. Now it is giving us the correct result. Of course, these images have to be styled according to our theme. Let's style them. In category page, and for the parent div, I will say class name flex 1. So each item will occupy the same space. Margin 2, shadow large, rounded medium, and overflow hidden. So we will make sure our image will not cross the section of our parent div. And for the image, I will say class name, it should occupy all the width 100%, and it will be enough for our image. Now let's move to our h2 tag, and here I will say class name display flex position absolute width 100%, height 100%. And as we want our h2 tag in the center of our parent div, so I am making it as a position absolute, height width 100%, and from left it is 0, and from top it's also 0, so it will make sure it will be always in center. Item center, justify center. Let's toggle on the word wrap and flex column. Let's make our button also inside this div, so they will be always aligned correctly. For the button, I will use our class button. As we have created this button, index.css, we have made our button class, and it will apply all these CSS wherever we will use button class. So let's save it. As we can see, they are now perfectly aligned, but still we are not getting our h2 tag. Let's use some styling here. I will say text white, font medium, and text size around 30 pixels. Save it. Okay, we are getting our h2 tag here. So how can we make this correct? As we see, here we are using position absolute, and we forget to make the parent div as a position relative. Let's save it. Now it will work fine. Let's see. Yeah, you can see now the h2 tags are in their correct position, and our buttons are also working fine. That's all about for our categories section. Let's move to the next part. Let's move towards the product section. Inside the component folder, I am making another component, products.jsx. I am using the same technique as I used for the categories section. Write rfce, and inside the API folder, I am making another file named top products api.js, and here I am pasting some content. Basically, this is a variable name API top product. It should be products, and this is an array of objects. Each object have a source key and the link of our image as a value. So let's import this in our products. Say import API top product from API folder, and then top products API. Then I will map through this API top products. It should be products. As we have mentioned, this is API top products. So same here, and it should be under the curly braces. Sorry, like that. And I will move through this complete array of API top products, and for each product with its index value, I will return an product component which will have a prop name item, and the item is using product as its parameter and key its index. Now let's make the product component. Here let's say rfce, and our product will receive the item as prop. I will use image of our product, and it will be item dot src and alt attribute as product image. Then another div. In this div, there will be material UI icons. So let's save it here and import our product component inside the products. Import product from product. And here is a typo. Save it again. Let's see the results. Okay, before seeing the result, we should add it to our home page. Products, save again. As we can see, now we have our products images. So it is working fine. Our next task is to include our material UI icons. So let's do this. Here, I will use 3 icons inside each div. The first icon is shopping cart outlined and it should be imported from like this. And similarly, the other icon is favorite border outlined. This is basically a heart shaped icon. And third one will be search outlined. Okay, save it. And let's see on the browser. Yeah, we have our material UI icons successfully inserted. As we noticed, our product images were aligned vertically and we should make them align horizontally. So for this, I am giving the parent div, means the product section, a display flex and flex wrap. Save this and now the images will be horizontally aligned. Yeah, they are horizontally aligned. And the other thing we could do is to give them a padding. So let's do this. There should be a padding of 5. And yeah, now they are looking aligned than before. Now let's do the styling for our product page. Here for the parent div, let's say display flex, item center, justify center, and the minimum width should be 300 pixel and minimum height should be 350 pixels, and I should open the word wrap and overflow hidden so our image will not cross our div area. Rounded medium, shadow large. You can see how easily we can give border radius and the shadow of our div by using Tailwindcss. Now it's enough for the parent div. Let's see the results. Okay. Still the width is too much. I should minimize the width. It would be 250 pixels. And there should be a margin 2. And here I should item center and justify center. Now they are looking aligned. Moreover, I should give each product a flex 1 so each item will occupy same space. Let's see. Yeah, now they are looking good. Our next task is to fix these material UI icons. Now for the parent div of our material UI icon, class name flex, item center, justify center. So now these icons will be aligned horizontally and width should be 100% of parent div. and height also should be 100%. Let's see the results. Yeah, now they are aligned horizontally, but there is a bug. These icons are not inside our product image div. So let's make it correct. I should make the parent div as position relative and the material UI icons div as position absolute. So it should fix this. Now save it. Now we can see these icons are inside the product image div. Okay, it's time to add styling for our material UI icons. I will say class name, its height should be 40 pixels. Width also should be 40 pixels. Rounded full. Background should be white. And let's also make this flex. Item center. Justify center. See the result. Okay, looking good. There should be a margin and cursor pointer. Yeah, now it's looking good. So this styling should be on each material UI icon. Let's do this. I will cut it from here. And here I will say icon style. And on the top of our component, let's make icon style this. And I should copy and paste this for each icon. Now save this. And yeah, now they are looking too much good. But there is no sense that these icons are always visible on top of each product. This should be visible on hovering. So let's make this. So the basic idea of solving this will be make its opacity 0 and on hover make opacity 1 and also on hover make background this. This is basically a kind of transparent black background. So let's save it and see the results. As now we can see on hover our cursor cannot access our material UI icon div. So its background is also not changing and they are not become visible on hovering. So how to solve it? Here comes our use state. I am using use state hook. Let's make const hover effects and set hover effects is equal to opacity 0 and we should also import the use state from our React just like this. Let's save and see if there are any error. No, there is no error, so we can use it. And instead of doing this, I will be using here our use state. So let's make it all inside curly braces and then inside of this single quotation use backtick like this and plus our hover effect like this. Now we can change our hover effect by this set hover effect function. Whenever our mouse enter this div, then handle hover enter, and I should format my code like this. Now it's more readable. So const handle hover enter And on entering our mouse to the div, set hover effects to. There should be always this extra space because of Tailwind CSS. Opacity 1 and background like this. And similarly, on mouse leave, handle, hover, exit. Here I say const handle, hover, exit. And set hover effect to opacity again 0. So that's the idea behind controlling this hover effect for our products. Let's see the results. Okay, now we can see when I hover the product, these icons of material UI are become visible. When my mouse leaves, they become disappear. And there should be a smooth transition. So I will include this. Here I say ease in, duration 100. Let's see. Okay, now it's looking prettier. Moreover, we should also include the styles for our material UI. For this, I will include in icon style, on hover, make background color this, and also on hover, text white, and on hovering, it should be scaled about 1.1, so it will be bigger than before when we hover. And during this, the transition should be ease in with duration of 100 and cursor pointer. Let's see. Okay, now you can see this beautiful hover effect, and it is applied to all our product images. Let's move on to our next section. Our next component is newsletter part. Let's make it again RFCE. And inside the div, I make an H1 heading where I say newsletter, all should be capital case. And then I make an H2 heading, always in touch with us, for your favorite products. And then I make an other div for input bar and with a send button. For this, I make an input, and input should be closed with this tag with the type text. Okay, type text and placeholder email, and then there will be some styling for that. We will do this on later, but just for now remain it's empty. And there is a button which says send. Let's add this newsletter to our home page. Now see, here is our newsletter without any style. This is email, send, and H1, H2 heading. Let's make the style. For the parent div, I will make it display flex, justify center, item center, and its height will be 350 pixels and width also 100% with the flex direction column and a background color of a light purple color, just like this. Let's save. And here it's taking some time. Okay, now we have a beautiful color for our newsletter and everything in a proper alignment. Now for our newsletter heading, give some styling. Its text is 50 pixels, font bold, and for our H2 heading, class name, text 20 pixel as it is an H2 heading with a margin top of 2. And now see the results. Okay, looking good. Now our last work is to set up this email and send button. For our this div, I say class name display flex with a margin top of 3 rem, item center, justify between, and its minimum width should be 30 rem and minimum height should be 20 rem. Save this. And now we can see, as we have mentioned a justify between, so these two things are at the corner of parent div. To fix this, we have to change the flex values of email and send. Let's see how we can do this. Here its height is not perfect. Let's do this again. Okay, now it's perfect. We should also do background color white and open the word wrap with a border of a kind of silver color and border rounded, almost 50 pixels round, and overflow hidden. This is basically a precautionary measure to make overflow hidden, so none will be out of our parent div. Save this and see. Okay, now looking good, but the problem is this. Our email input is just for this length. It should be for the whole length. Here for the input, I will say class name, border none, and padding left 20 pixels. And here comes the tricky part. I made this flex 7, so it will take the whole length and outline should be none, so we will no longer see the black border when we click inside the input. See the results. Okay, the problem is that we also have an empty class name here. Just remove this. Now save and see the results. Okay, now you can notice there is no black border outline. It is moved and our email is occupying the full length. For our button, let's do some styling. Its background color should be with the flex 1, and instead of just simply writing send, I am using a material UI icon send this, and for this icon I am making its color white just like this, so it should not be here. Now save this. Okay, It's not looking too much better as we have borders. Let's fix this. So for this, here just make the height 100% and it will definitely fix this. Let's see. Now our button and our input are in perfect alignment. For example, test@gmail.com. And for more validity, here we can make is type is equal to email. So it will always accept an email. The next item is footer. So for footer, inside footer, I will make two div. First div for the store information and the second div for contact information. Okay, and in home, I am importing this like this. Save this, and for the parent div, class name, display flex, item center, justify around. So these two divs will be on left and right hand side of our page, and with the padding almost 2. Now for our store information, I say an h1 tag inside which I write my channel name, Zen Keeps Code, and also I make a p tag with some lorem ipsum. Okay, there should be word wrap like this. Now save this, and here I should also write I am contacts. See the results. Okay, as we can see, these two divs are aligned vertically. So to fix this, I should remove display. This is just a mistake, and now they will be aligned horizontally. Okay, now we can see they are horizontally. Now add some more styling. For my this div, I will flex 1. So this will occupy equal space and then display flex, flex column, and the flex should be wrapped with the padding of 2. So this is the output with the padding 2. So it is working correctly. Now move on. For my h1 tag, I say text size 25 pixels, which will be enough. And now for our p tag, I think so that on default it will be okay. So let's move on. And I will include another thing, which will be our material UI icons for Facebook, Instagram, etc. In short, for our social media links. Let's add them. Each icon will be in its own div. First of all, include Facebook here, and similarly add Instagram. Okay, it will be included like that. Then Twitter will be also good. And for last, Pinterest. For now, I just remember these social media. You can add as much as you want. Now for my next div, here I add some classes. Flex 1. So it should also occupy the same space with a display flex, flex direction column, and padding 2. You will say why I am doing this, because I don't have any contact inside this div. So first I should create them. Here I am also use some material UI icons. So before doing this, let's say this is a contact div, and first see if it is working good or not. Okay, so before going to this side, we should fix this one. Okay, now here I will add styling, margin 3, rounded full, cursor pointer, padding 2, and text white. Okay, let's see this. Okay, as we know that now it is not visible. It will be visible if I make its background color blue, and let's make it 700. Okay, it is visible, but it has too much length. Let's fix this. Inside the parent div, I say flex, item center, justify center, margin top 3, and self start, so it will align itself to the start of flex box. Okay, now it is looking good. Let's make all of them with the same classes. So making some changes at the top of, say, const social style. I know it's a weird name, but let's use this. And as we know that the background color for each of our social link will be different, so I am leaving it, and here say social style plus background blue, and let's see. Okay, background blue is not working. I should give it a space. See again. Now it is working. So do the same thing for other our icons. And background color for Instagram will be orange. Orange 500 will be okay. For Twitter it will be sky 400, and this red will be too much dark, so I would say 600. Now they are looking good. Let's move to our contact div. Inside contact div, as I mentioned, I also use material UI icons, and each icon will be in its own div. So first, location on outline material UI icon, and for this icon I say state of California, and similarly my other icons like this, and here I use local phone outlined, and here email outlined like this. Let's save and see the result. Okay, so we should make them correct and in a perfect alignment. Make this flex and margin 3, and similarly for each of our contact icon. Now looking good. There should also be a margin for our p tag. So for this, let's say padding left 3, and it will also be same I know you can do it by using a variable as we have used for our social style, but for now I am just doing like this and see the results. Yep, it's working correctly now. And here I should write my phone number like this 12349, and for email say zenkeepscode@gmail.com. Now it is looking good. So this is all about our footer section. Let's move on to the next part. Our next part is category page. Here, first import my components, and in components, announce bar, then nav bar, then products, and newsletter, and then final part footer. Here you can see how React makes it easy, as we can use its component nature. Let's add this page in our app.js. This time, instead of home page, I will use my category page. And save this. Let's see the results. So you can see we have made our category page in just a minute. Now let's add some filters over the products. For this purpose, I am including here some other components. Basically, these are not components but are the parts of this category page. Make a div, and here I am making h1 heading and say men's, let's say men's cloth, and then another div, and this div will be for our filter. And it is better if I write this inside p tag, and then make a select for the size of cloth. First option will be a default option, so I am making it selected and disabled also, so no one can select it. The name of this option is size, and then small size, then paste it and change its value large and medium should be in between like that. And the next part is an other select with the first option as color, and it is also always selected at first and disabled also. Now give some options with values like, and I am just copy pasting it, blue, red, and it is enough. Save it and see the results. As we can see, we have our h1 headings and select components successfully inserted. Now style them. For parent div, I say display flex column, so all items inside this div will be aligned vertically with the padding of 5. And for men's cloth heading, with a text size of 30 pixel. And then for this div, I am making it display flex and item center, and justify it will be between and margin top 3. So let's look how it's going to work. Okay, it's looking good. Our next task to add another filter which will be appeared here. So let's see how we'll make this. But before doing that, I also want to add some styles for this div, like display flex, and it will be okay if I make it flex column. Let's see. No, in flex column it's not looking as good as in horizontal way. So let's leave it as default flex. Okay. Now they are looking good. So for each select, I should add some styling like margin left 3, border of 2 pixels will be enough, and border color silver. And then for this select, I should just copy and paste all these classes like this. Okay, looking good now. Let's make our filter for the newest, oldest, and by price. So for this, like this, and here I say sort by, and then make a select input like this with the option newest first, like this, and copy and paste it, then oldest first, and then price ascending, and this should be price descending. Okay, it is in its correct position, but we should make it look like these filters. So I'm going to add some styling here. Only making it display as flex will do our work. You can see how easy it is by using Tailwindcss. Now it's looking fine. Our product category page is ready now. In the next part of the video, we will make the product page and the cart page of our e-commerce store, and further we will also build the login and register page. Stay tuned on the channel and don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Thank you.